Alright, so I said I wanted to do more Smite videos. I said I wanted to do build videos. I'm still going to do them, but I'm going to hold them off a little bit because I want to give some tips. I need to make a tip video or two just because of the Xbox Smite community. Now this can be directed towards PS4 community as well, since there are newer to the game than people on Xbox who had the game for a pretty long time. So no, it's seriously bad on the Xbox One. I'm not sure how it is on PS4 because I don't play the PS4. So this is more so directed towards the Xbox One community. But again, if you're in PS4, you need some tips. This video is also good for you. First and foremost, I mentioned before my previous video, which will be in the description box below, that the current Xbox One community has no idea how this game works, how it's supposed to be played, and why roles are important. People basically just freelance. They do whatever they want to do, and if you lose, no one cares. When you are in the God selection menu, it doesn't matter what god you want to use, doesn't matter who your favorite god is. If you want to win, if you want to do well, you pick gods based on the roles and what that team needs. If one person picks Zeus, you shouldn't be thinking about grabbing another mage unless it's a healer like Hel or an Aphrodite, or a minion killer like Vulcan. Don't grab Hebo or Hades. You're screwing your team over by stacking up not only on mages, but damage dealing gods. So you don't want to stack up on all squishies to begin with. You don't want to stack up on damage dealing mages, because you want to have a balance. Balance is the best way to win in this game. Like you might be able to get away with it every now and then because you might go against a team who's also just as squishy as you are. But for the most part, you want to play it safe and go with that balanced team and not a team that's stacking up on certain gods. So say someone grabs Zeus, someone else grabs Thanatos. You should be thinking about grabbing a hunter, a guard, or a warrior. Unless your team specifically asks you for a second mage or a second assassin, don't even think about picking an assassin or a mage unless someone in your party tells you, hey, we don't need a hunter, go ahead and grab another assassin. We don't need a hunter, go grab another mage. But a guard and warrior is going to be a key need, because you're going to need that person who can keep the enemy at bay and keep them from pushing you into your own spawn. Because that can happen at Smite. That can happen at Smite. If you're playing as an all squish team and your enemy team has a guard and a warrior, they can push you as much as they want to. Because they're gonna have that beefy guard, they're gonna have that hard-hitting warrior who's constantly pushing your team back and back and back to a point where eventually you're just shooting them out of your spawn. Don't stack up on types. It hurts the team. Some of y'all are new, so you don't know that the type of guy you pick dictates how your team can play overall. It goes back into whether or not you can or can't push a team. Second tip is in-game, and at no point whatsoever should you ever try to face the enemy team by yourself. Doesn't matter what type of god you are, you will not win that fight, and you're hurting your team with your recklessness. There's no such thing as, okay, I got one kill but I died. That's a net zero. Both teams losing situation. You don't know how many times I've seen someone try to fight the entire enemy team by themselves. It's usually like an assassin or a guard who thinks they can take on the entire enemy team by themselves. And every time they got their ass kicked, because that's how the game works. You're not gonna fight. This is not Call of Duty. You can't take on a team of 5 by yourself and just gun them down. Not how it works. They're gonna outnumber you and they're gonna destroy you. Don't push the team by yourself. If you feel like there's an advantage for you there, let the team know, hey, I see a hole in their defense. Let's all push up together. Let's catch them off guard by being aggressive. But don't do it by yourself. Tip number 3, if your team is losing, do not, I repeat, do not chase enemies down, because the result in you doing that is going to cause your team losing. Happens a lot where an enemy health gets low. It could just be one person, someone health drop, and instantly someone snaps in someone's head. They start chasing that person down just to get that kill, even so much to a point where they're going to go into the enemy spawn to get that kill. Stop it. Don't do it. 10 times out of 10, you're gonna die. There's no chance of you surviving. If you're gonna try to something like that, you're going to get killed, because not only are you chasing one person down, you're pushing their spawn, and they're all gonna swarm on you way faster than your teammates can back you up. So you're gonna die. Even if you got that person, you're still gonna die. Again, your team is losing, and you're putting yourself, in a position of making the lead even worse. Goes back to what I said before about a net zero. You might have got that kill, but you also died, and your team's losing, so your team hurts more so than the enemy team hurts from you getting that kill. Next tip, let's go back to god picking. If you know you aren't good with a certain god, don't pick that god. We all want to experience every god, but if you suck with one and you know you do, because let's be honest, we all know what we are and we aren't good at. Don't pick a god you're not good at. And because again, that goes back, you don't want to hurt your team. If you want to pick a god that you want to experience, that you haven't really used yet, go to co-op. Go there to learn the game better. Go there to learn how to play a god. But don't hurt your team in versus by picking gods yes you aren't good with or you don't have a lot of experience with, because it hurts your team, and overall it leads for other games to have a bad experience because they have someone on their team who's not doing their job, not filling their role out, and not they're playing a god they're just not good with. And I see a lot, not just with the randoms but friends as well. Got a friend that has never had a single good game with Hades, but one day he decided to pick Hades again and was completely terrible with Hades. I don't know why he picked Hades. Like I said before, he never had a good game with Hades before, so it's just kind of weird that he had a thought like, I'm going to pick Hades again, and he did completely terrible again. Same friend likes to play as Capricorn. Once again, he did shit with him. As always, he never does good with Capricorn, and it's just weird because it's just, you're hurting your team when you do stuff like that. I would never pick a god that I'm not good with. You know, I'm currently in a position of mastering all the gods in the game. Right now I'm at 61. I'm not gonna like, I'll eventually master all the gods, but if I know if there's a god I'm not good with, I'm not gonna keep using that god over and over again. I'm gonna go, let's get this god diamond. No, I'm not gonna do that because I know for a fact what gods I'm good at and what gods I'm not good at. Like I think and if you have, we all have that sense that, well, we could eventually be good with every god in the game, and it may be true. But again, you use co-op to experience those gods and learn the god better, not going into verses and just hurting your team. The point is, you know, doing that hurts your team. We all know who we are and who we aren't good with. Don't hurt your team. Next tip is know your roles. If you are playing as a mage or a hunter, minions are mostly your responsibility. You know, don't look for your assassins and hunters. Don't look for your assassins and your guards and warriors to do it with minions. That's mostly the ranged attacker's role. If you're playing hunter or playing as a mage, know for a fact that that is going to be up to you to take out the minions. Especially if you're playing as Vulcan, Kukulkan, Anubis, etc. Those gods are mostly minion focused. Especially Vulcan, you want to use those gods to take out minions. You know, it's kind of annoying when like I played a game and we have like 3 mages, and they're not even taking any kind of like thought into take out minions. They're pushing the enemy team, and you know, they're trying to do their own thing, trying to lone wolf. Meanwhile, minions are just going right into the freaking portal. You know, if you don't want to take out minions, don't use those gods. You know, go pick an assassin, go pick a warrior, go pick a guard. If you don't want to kill minions, don't pick a mage, or don't pick a hunter. You know, don't use gods like Ares and Odin to kill minions. That's not what they're designed for. Odin is not designed for killing minions. Neither is Ares. That's up to the minion killing mages, minion killing hunters. That's their job, and you need to know that role. And staying with that, if you're a guard, it's kind of your job to push the team. You know, if you want to push up, the team's gonna rally around, you know, you pushing up and you pushing the enemy team back or moving backwards. So give out those callouts, you know, attack middle lane or retreat. So if you're the guard, you're kind of like, you're the center of the team. And if you're a certain guard like Geb or Capri, you're also a support god. So you're going to be doing healing and giving shields and things like that. So bottom line is just to know your role. Next tip is a big one. It's kind of like a hidden tip, like an unwritten rule. It's okay to waste your ult. Now, I know what you're saying. Wait, that sounds dumb. Why the hell would I waste my ult? Well, it's not dumb, and it's actually tactically a pretty good way to help your team. If you're being pushed by the enemy, and like if it's going to happen eventually when you're playing the game, you don't have a guard, and say you're playing as a mage and you're getting pushed, use your ult. And you might not even get a kill out of it, but if you use your ult, it pushes the enemy back. Especially if you have an area and effect ult like Zeus or Vulcan, is want to push the enemy back regardless. Like, they're not going to sit inside your ult. That's just a dumb idea. So it's going to push them back, so give your team the time to reset. They're going to scatter, your team's going to be able to push up. You know, over aggressive enemies will get killed by it because they're going to keep pushing regardless of you using your ult. But in return, you're going to get a kill. But even if you don't get a kill, it helps your team reset and regain some ground, and it helps you all just be able to push enemies back because they're going to scatter, they're not going to stay in that one spot. The last and final tip for this video: use the in-game voice commands. If you want to set up a combo, letting people know in the game when your ult is ready is a good way of saying, hey, let's chain our ults together. If you're in deep shit, there is a command for asking for help. Using these commands will help you communicate with your team if people you're playing with aren't, you know, using a headset, or they're probably in a party chat, so you can't hear them, they can't hear you. So it's a good way to communicate with the entire team via the in-game chat commands. You let them know, like, hey, attack left lane, attack right lane, attack middle lane. I need help. Ultimate is ready. Using those commands will help you out a lot. Bonus tip: don't be an asshole. We all know what an asshole move is. Don't be an asshole. Being an asshole ruins the game for other people. It ruins people's experience. Just, because your life sucks or you're a douchebag doesn't mean you gotta, take it out on your team. Don't be an asshole. If you see a teammate getting chased, help them. If you see a teammate is about to get a kill, don't go over there and take the kill from them. Don't steal kills. Don't let your teammate die. Don't be an asshole. Thank you for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts are in the comment section below. Peace out.